Hello everyone, I, Dr. Sunana Kaur, Assistant Professor, BHOPAL School of Social Sciences, BHOPAL. So here today I will be discussing a topic, guidance and counseling. So before we begin, we have go through with the content we are going to talk about. First, we will talk about introduction, definition of guidance and counseling, difference between guidance and counseling, and the purpose of guidance and counseling. Sometimes when we are talking about guidance and counseling, people are very much confused with these two terms. Like that, sometimes we are talking about what is guidance. Guidance basically determine the intelligence, aptitude, attitude, and the personality of the person. On the other side, when we are talking about counseling, we are helping for the personal growth. It can be added into the educational, vocational, health, and all areas can be covered into that under this counseling session. Let's start with the introduction. Like you can see that guidance and counseling are twin concepts and have emerged as essential elements of every educational activity. Like that, it is clear with this line that guidance, when we are talking about guidance, is an essential element of every individual educational activity. When we are talking about educational, we are mostly use guidance part in education sector. Like suppose from the childhood, it's a continuous process. We cannot stop guidance any stage. It's go along with the old age still. Like that, in a early childhood care, we need the guidance part. When we are talking about the primary, middle, secondary and higher secondary and every stage of educational field, we need that guidance at that stage. Guidance and counseling is not synonymous, and the counseling is a part of guidance. Like that, when we are talking about guidance and counseling, it's not the synonym of each other. It is more, the guidance is the vast area and the counseling comes under guidance. Guidance in educational context mean to indicate, point out and show the way, lead out and direct. Like that, sometimes when we are asking the path, route, where we are supposed to go, how we can go to that particular path. Same way we can connect with the guidance. Like that, if we want to know about that particular career choices, subject selection, so that time we need the expertise that who can guide us which one area is the best for us. Counseling is a specialized service of guidance. It is in the process of helping individuals learn more about themselves and their present and possible future situations to make a substantial contribution to the society. When we are talking about counseling, it is more into that depth form. Like that, we are more concerned about the self-disclosure of the person. Like that, how much they are aware about their self. The self-awareness is very important. You must know the potentiality, capabilities, the caliber you have. So through aptitude test, we can get to know about your aptitude, as well as we can connect with the personality test as well to get to know about your personality trait. Then we can match it and we can give you some better option for your according your personality. As we say, always we suggest the students, love what you do and do what you love. It means like that whatever profession you are going to choose, it should be very much related with your interest area. Now, the guidance is an assistance made available by a competent counselor to an individual of any age to help him direct his own life, develop his own point of view, make his own decision and carry his own burden. Here we are talking about the competent counselor. Like that, day-to-day life we find it out, so many people around us who can help us. Like that, in way we are dividing the helpers also in the three levels, like that non-professional helpers and the social service workers helpers, and the third one the professional helpers. Here we are talking about the professional helpers according to the counselor. So guidance is a process of helping every individual through his own efforts to discover and develop his own potentialities for his personal happiness and social usefulness. Like that, you can see that discovering. Nowadays, people are more confused with their self, what exactly they are, where they are moving, what exactly they want in their life, and they are not aware about their potential as well, how much they have and how they can enhance the potentiality, caliber and enhance their confidence. So many other areas we just count in this guidance part, and which somehow related with the personal happiness and social usefulness. Now we come to that part, that a counseling. Counseling is essentially a process in which the counselor assists the counselee to make interpretation of facts relating to a choice, plan or adjustment which he needs to make. When we are talking about counseling term, it can be related with any area. It can be related with your educational level. Might be you are suffering from any kind of learning disability or kind of problems you are facing in your classroom settings. You have some relationship issues with your friends, with your teacher, with your authorities. That can also the problem, day-to-day life problems you are facing, and so here the counseling will help you in that way to sort out the problem, to get the solution of those problems by yourself. That they can, by your talking, by we are establishing relationship with the counselee or students, we are getting the solution and we come to know that what we can do to solve that particular problem. Counseling is a series of direct contacts with the individual which aims to offer him assistance in changing his attitude and behavior. Sometimes the students are having anger issues, sometimes the impulsiveness, and sometimes they have poor relationship issues as well. So how they can manage it? So sometimes they cannot control their anger, their emotional problems they have. So counseling help in that way. You can come and you can rely which techniques can be very useful in that way. So we just suggest the techniques and ways to the students and the people how they can work on and how they can modify their behavior. So let's start with the basic comparison between guidance and counseling. As I said earlier, people are very much confused with these two terms. Sometimes they feel that it is a synonym, but it is not. Here it is few criteria I have mentioned here, like meaning, nature, approach, and what it does, deals with and provided with. These are the areas which we can differentiate between guidance and counseling. First we will start with the meaning of guidance and counseling. Here we start with the guidance is an advice or a relevant piece of information provided by a superior to resolve a problem or overcome from difficulty. Like the student is having problem while choosing the subject. He is not aware about the list of subject the school is providing or the institute is providing. So that person, that student can take help of senior most student or the faculty or the person who is expertise in this field. So this is more into that anyone can give the guidance for this particular areas. On the other side, when we are talking about counseling, it refers to a professional advice given by a counselor to an individual to help him in overcoming from personal or psychological problems. Like sometimes day-to-day life we are having a lot of problems, like adjustment problems when we are talking about. So sometimes our friends help to sort it out and give the solution of that problems. On other side, some way the social worker, social service worker also help us. But here when we are talking about in terms of counseling, we need professional counselor who have degree or PhD on this counseling field, and they can suggest and they can work on the psychological and the personal problem of the people. This is the meaning differences there. And now next is the nature. Guidance is more into that preventive nature, and the other side counseling is more remedial and curative. Preventing, when we are talking about, if like that we are asking the path, that we should know the right path where to go. But sometimes like that, if we are not asking anyone for the guidance for while you are choosing your subject, while you are going or adapting or going for the university education, the areas you are interested in, then you will be in a wrong track. So it is more prevent you from the wrong path. Other side, counseling is more related with the remedial and curative. He is more focused on the personal psychological problem and the personal problem of the person, like that he is having suffering from any kind of psychological disorders or mental issues, anger issues, emotional intelligence problem, the imbalance, regulations, emotions, irregulations is there, impulsiveness. So psychologist or the counselor is dealing through the counseling process. We are working on how we can minimize those problems or we can modify those problems. For this we need the professional counseling. Approach we are talking about, it is more comprehensive and extrovert. On the other side, counseling is in-depth and introvert. Guidance can be given any place, anywhere, maybe in a group or with one-to-one or more than one people can attend for the guidance programs. But on the other side, when we are doing counseling, this is more into that depth process. We have to go into that conscious, subconscious and unconscious role of the person, how they are dealing with that, and it is very much confidential as well, and it is more introvert to know the deep about the person. We have to deep dive into the nature of the person, the nature of the problem, what is the reason for this problem, what it does. So in the guidance, when we are talking about it, assess the person choosing the best alternatives. When we are talking about here, it is clear by that word, it is choosing the best alternative is more about related with the education field. When we are talking about education field like that in the 10th grade, 12th grade, while choosing your board, CBSE, ICSE, UP, MP, whatever it is, you are confused with that. So on the surface level, on the comprehensive approach we are having, the guide can help you to choose the best alternative for you. The other side, counseling, when we are talking about what it does, it tends to change the perspective and help him to get the solution by himself and herself. When we are talking about the comparison, what guidance deals with? Guidance deals with education and career related issues, and also somehow the personal and other side, the counseling is using the personal and psychosocial, psychological, emotional issues. More when we are talking about guidance, more related with the educational, vocational and career related issues. On what it is provided, it provides us any person, by any person or the person who is expert in that field. On the other side, when we are talking about counseling, we need a skilled person, high level of skill, professional training to deal with the counseling. Because it is very sensitive issues sometimes the people are having, so we have to deal it very carefully. So next point is that privacy. Privacy, when we are talking about in guidance, there is no need of privacy overall, and it is very much open and less private. On the other side, counseling is totally confidential and we need privacy in that form, because we have to keep the whatever the student, child or person is talking about the issue, we should keep it private only. We cannot discuss with anyone about it. Mode, it can be one-to-one or more than one, many. And the other side, counseling is mostly happen one-to-one. The counselor and counselee is present only. Decision making, when we are talking about in which guidance, decision taken by guide. He will suggest to which field is better for you, which subject, how many subject you have and which subject you can choose. On the other side, counseling, when we are talking about, the decision maker is the client itself. He is about to take decision what he feels after the conversation, all the rapport establishment we talked about, what can be done and suggested by the client itself. Analysis type, when the guidance is more based on external analysis. Other side, counseling is the inward analysis, like that we are putting that so many tests for that, psychological tests are there like personality and the interest, anxiety, depression, based on the issue you have. Focus on, the guidance is more focused on finding the solution for the concerned problem. Whatever you approached me for that, I can guide you towards that particular problem. On the other side, counseling is more focused on understanding and getting to problem properly to deal with. Applicability, when application based we are talking about, guidance is mostly applied and used in educational and career related issue. On the other side, when we are talking about counseling, is applied and used on social and personal issues. Now, this is, I hope it is clear what is the differences between guidance and counseling. Here comes with the purpose of guidance and counseling. What is the purpose? Aim of the guidance and counseling to providing the needed information and assistance to the concerned person, right? Helping an individual to make wise choices. Like that sometimes nowadays youth are very much confused with the choices. So being as a counselor or a guide we need to assist the person at that right place. And we are also working on the improving the understanding of self, facilitate the adjustment. When we are talking about understanding of self, this is very much how the self-worth is for the person, self-concept of the person, how negative, positive he thinks about himself, how he perceives himself. It matters, because on the basis of that only we have our cognition and perception. So we are working on that as well. Helps. Now next is that what is the purpose of guidance and counseling is help in adapting to the changes or new environment and making self-sufficient and independent as well. We are trying during the counseling session, we are trying to find out the exact problem and what is the root cause of that problem. It can be from the childhood or it can be from the other side, any traumas, if anything can be there. So we are working on those root causes and we are just trying to take it out and just remove it and just put some more proper bandages for it and modifying the particular behavior of the person. And this other purpose is for this efficient use of capabilities and talent. If we are not aware about our aptitude, our potential, we are not aware about anything about, like where we are going, how we are going, we are not aware about. So we have to work on our capabilities and the talent, and we are finding out what exactly it is for us. Promote the optimal personal and professional development also, like that this is more important for the counseling area, like we are working on the to get to know about your personality trait, professional, in which field you can go, which kind of extrovert, introvert you are, accordingly we can suggest you the profession as well. And also we are working on the balance, physical, psychological, emotional, social and spiritual growth. These are all the areas when we are combining it with that guidance and counseling, these are the all areas we are supposed to work on, like that physical, your physical health and mental health matters, and how the physical appearance, the personality, psychological terms like we are using, how the emotional balance you have in your life, everything is, life is all about balance. So we are trying to working on those areas, and also we are helping in overall development and to live productive life. So here when we are talking about all areas in guidance and counseling, but the major difference when we are talking about between guidance and counseling, guidance is more into that surface level and the counseling is more into that deep level, right? So I think this much is enough for today. Thank you.